What's up, everybody? Off-Center Leonard here. It is a cold Sunday, evening, and figured I'd just pop on here and do a little video. The theme today is Cincinnati Reds, and I haven't done a very good job of sharing my PC pickups, uh, but I figured I would share a handful of cards. That one of them is a signed card that kind of completes my 72 top signed run of the Reds guys that I wanted, the Big Red Machine. And then also this guy, 1887 Old Judge N172 Elmer Smith. And this is a story in itself, but this I picked up at a card show that a guy had a small stack of old judges, and he was walking around and he wanted to sell the whole lot. And after I was very transparent with him, and unfortunately a lot of the dealers there, including myself, didn't know that stuff like the back of our hands. So everyone was kind of scrambling. I think a lot of people were sending out data to the card universe to try to get people to, help out with information on that stuff. I mean, eBay solds, all this other stuff. He seemed to be pretty reasonable as far as his pricing, but it was a lot of money for the lot of cards. At the end of the conversation, he ended up, he basically said, look, he's like, is there any cards in here that you want to buy? And I'm like, the Hall of Famers he wanted, a couple grand a piece for, whatever it was. And I was like, do you have any Reds any Reds guys? And he's like, yeah. He goes, I do. He goes, I have this one. And, for kind of giving him some information and an extension on trying to help him sell the stuff, he offered this card to me at $250, which looking at it now, I think is an absolute steal, because of the registration on the card, the color. It is not faded at all. These were sitting in a desk for a century or so, and he happened to work at an antique shop, and some old timer came in and pulled these out of a desk. So pretty cool. But anyways, let's take a look at the other cards that I wanted to show you, and we'll do that right now. Okay, so let's take a look at Mr. Elmer Smith here. So he has a little, he's got a little bend up there. I think this could definitely grade a 2, as long as they give it a numeric, grade. It doesn't have any like prominent creases. There's a small scratch in the back. But look at the color on that. And what stood out about this card to me was isn't this like a classic baseball card photographer? Like, here, show me, you pitching the ball. So just what a card. I shouldn't probably be handling this with hands. I'm going to sleeve this right now. Set this off to the side. I will send it to SGC. We'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know what happens with that. But I looked online and I saw higher, I definitely think there's like a tolerance for, for cards that are from the 1800s and even, 1900s. So, I've seen cards with a higher fade with more issues with a higher grade than a 2. So I'm hoping for just a numeric grade. Hopefully it comes back a 2. If it came back a 3, that would be awesome. And like I said, I think it was a great deal at $250. I didn't hesitate. I just, I wanted to do good business with the guy, and and just, complete the transaction. I wanted to get the whole thing, but that's all we could really do. So anyways, my oldest card in my personal collection, it happens to be a Cincinnati Reds 1897. When I was at the Philly show just this past March, if you go back and you look at my last video where I showed where I had my Philly show pickups, I stopped off at Chapel and they picked up this, man, it looks even better on camera, this stunning Red Heart 54 Red Heart Klazuski. This card just was so clean. I mean, it's basically It's probably a little diamond cut, but I'm just going to take this out. The red on this, look at the sheen of the big clue. This is so awesome, you know, and he had it for a very fair price, considering that I would call this, you know, technically mid-grade, mid to high grade. I mean, it's not going to come back high grade because of the centering, and they might MC it on the back, but just the rich red background. I mean, there is no spotting. Oh man, that's so good. So we got the big clue over here. Just put you right there, I guess. And then from the December Philly show, I picked up this nice little oddball number from Durwood, Woody. 69 tops, 4-1 with Lee Stange, Don Sutton, Erlander, and Pete Rose. So obviously I got it because of the Rose. I don't know how many. I've come across very few baseball 4-1s. I know they're like a test issue. I just saw it. You know, Durwood hooked me up with a nice little price on this. I saw it. I think I wanted it from the September show, and then I came back in December for December, and I was just like, So it's crease free. There's something going on here, but where there's like, it looks like wax, but I don't know how they came, so I don't know if it's wax. But what a great addition to my Reds collection. And then on eBay, you know, I love the story of back-to-back no-hitters, and I already have a 49 Bowman signed Johnny Vandermeer, but I was looking for the King signed Vandermeer, and I ended up pulling the trigger on an auction. It's the most money I ever wanted to spend on a Vandermeer autograph for sure, but look at that. We have a 41 play ball signed in black ballpoint pen, I believe. It's not Sharpie. Or it could be like a thin Sharpie, who knows, but I'll have to give it a better look later on. But a crease-free 41 play ball rookie of Johnny Vandermeer. Isn't that beautiful? The play balls are just so nice. So that was, we'll just put these together here. This was the last pickups I had, well, at the shows and then eBay. And then lastly, on eBay, I picked up the last guy I needed. He was a high number. There wasn't any available for a little while. I think he did a signing somewhat recently, but we have multiple time Gold Glover. I thought he was 5-time, but then I saw somewhere that he was 4. Part of the Big Red Machine, Cesar Geronimo. Great high number, nicely signed. Card is, you know, basically X mint for sure, and just a very pretty card. But the reason why I needed this card was because, I don't know how I'm going to do this here, but we got Cesar Geronimo. We got George Foster. Actually, we had 2 George Fosters. That's not the one I wanted to use. So we got George Foster and a Beckett authentication slab with a 10 auto grade. And what I love about these 72s is they frame up the player like every player is a superstar. I absolutely love the borders on these cards. So we have Hall of Famer Tony Perez with an inscription of Hall of Fame 2000, and these are all originally from 1972. We have what I'd like to see in the Hall of Fame is 72 tops Dave Concepcion, his second year. Fantastic player. We got Sparky Anderson. Not encapsulated, but that's okay. We'll get a flip for that. It looks like a was it a Greg Morris sticker, but yeah, I think I won this on a Greg Morris auction. But autograph is good on the Anderson, and then we got some of the heavy hitters coming. We have 72 Johnny Bench, who I believe is a semi-high number. And then we've got 72 Topps Pete Rose, inscribed the Hit King, nicely centered. Nicely centered, Leonard. I'll put you right back here. Ooh. And last but not least, the other high number is Joe Morgan. Very tough to find. I paid a pretty penny for this because he had already passed when I was working on this project. And the only guy I'm missing from the Big Eight is Griffey Sr. He wasn't on the team at the time. And I am looking for like a 72 archives or something. I've looked on eBay already. I haven't seen much. But let's see if we can get the whole, sort of the whole crew here. I'll just run the camera. Oh. So, Perez, Morgan, Bench, Geronimo, Foster, Anderson, Concepcion, and Rose. I didn't do the whole team because they didn't win it that year. The A's did, and I'm 3 away, I think, from completing the entire 72 A's team set. But anyways, just wanted to thank you guys for coming by. And lots more to come. And I have a lot more personal collection stuff that I'd like to share, and some deals I recently picked up that have some kind of significance. And it's great to see you all, and we'll see you next time. Austin Leonard signing off.